After the Suez Crisis, Israel and the Arab states remained in a state of intense hostility, with both sides accelerating military expansion and preparations for war. Egypt and other Arab nations regarded the elimination of Israel and the liberation of Palestine as their responsibility. Yet from 1956 to 1966, the region experienced a decade of tense but fragile calm. Political shifts in Israel. During the first decade after Israel's founding, David Ben-Gurion and his Labor Party enjoyed immense prestige. However, in June 1963, after promoting a new generation of leaders such as Moshe Dayan and Shimon, Ben-Gurion announced his retirement and returned to Sde Boker in the Negev. Entering the 1960s, Monekim began Haret movement joined with other centrist factions to form a powerful opposition bloc known as Gahal. Israeli politics thus evolved into a two-bloc system, with the Labor alignment and Gahal competing for leadership. The founding of the PLO, 1964, in May 1964, with the support of the Arab League. The first Palestinian National Council convened in Jerusalem's Old City and declared the establishment of the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. Its charter explicitly called for armed struggle to liberate Palestine. Using neighboring Arab countries as bases, the PLO began launching raids into Israel, posing a growing security threat. Deterioration of the border situation. 1964. Israel completed its national water carrier project, provoking fierce opposition across the Arab world and increasing friction on the Syrian border. 1966. In November, following landmine attacks by Fatah that killed Israeli soldiers, Israeli forces launched a major retaliatory raid on the West Bank village of Samu, causing widespread destruction and over 100 Jordanian casualties. 1967. On April 7th, a major air battle erupted between Israel and Syria over disputed farmland. Israel shot down 6 Syrian MiGs, sharply escalating tensions. The slide to war, May 1967. Egyptian President Nasser continued declaring his readiness to destroy Israel. On May 12, 1967, the Soviet Union falsely informed Egypt and Syria that Israel was massing troops on the northern border. Nasser responded aggressively. May 14th, deployed massive forces into the Sinai Peninsula. May 18th, demanded the removal of UN emergency forces, UNEF, from Sinai and Gaza. May 22nd, announced the closure of the Straits of Tiran, blocking Israel's southern maritime access, an act Israel had previously stated would be a casus belli, cause for war. Jordan signed a mutual defense pact with Egypt, placing its forces under Egyptian command. The Arab world mobilized, and war seemed inevitable. Israel's crisis and the National Unity Government Prime Minister Levi Eshkol initially hesitated, seeking diplomatic solutions. However, public opinion in Israel turned sharply against him, fearing a second Holocaust. On June 1st, to secure national unity, the Labor Party invited the opposition Gahal to join the government. Monekim became a minister, and Moshe Dayan was appointed Minister of Defense. This signaled that the time for diplomacy had passed. Military balance, 1967. Israel, troops, 264,000, fully mobilized reserves, combat aircraft, 200 tanks, 800, mostly Centurions, Pattons, and Super Shermans. Arab coalition, Egypt, Syria, Jordan troops, 340,000, excluding expeditionary forces from Iraq, etc. Combat aircraft, 500 plus tanks, 500, although the Arab states held a significant numerical advantage, roughly 3:1 in tanks. Israel relied on better training, air superiority, and a strategy of swift and decisive victory. The Six-Day War begins, June 5th to 10th. June 5th, Operation Focus, airstrike. At 7:45 a.m., the Israeli Air Force launched a massive preemptive strike. Flying below radar, They destroyed the Egyptian Air Force on the ground within hours. By noon, the air forces of Jordan and Syria were also neutralized. Israel achieved total air superiority. The Sinai Front Israeli armor advanced into Sinai from 3 directions. By June 8th, Egyptian forces had collapsed, and Israel reached the Suez Canal. The Jordanian Front, reunification of Jerusalem despite Israeli messages to King Hussein urging him to stay out of the war, Jordan opened fire. Israel counterattacked, capturing the entire West Bank. On June 7th, Israeli paratroopers stormed the Old City of Jerusalem. The image of soldiers weeping at the Western Wall became the defining symbol of the war. The Syrian Front, the Golan Heights. On June 9th, after securing other fronts, Israel launched an assault up the steep Golan Heights. By June 10th, key positions were taken, and the road to Damascus lay open. A ceasefire was declared on June 11th. Outcome and casualties. The war ended with a staggering Israeli victory. The map of the Middle East was redrawn, with Israel capturing the Sinai, Gaza Strip, West Bank, Jerusalem, and Golan Heights. Casualties were lopsided. Arab forces suffered catastrophic losses. Israeli forces lost approximate 776 to 983 soldiers. In the aftermath, the Soviet Union severed diplomatic relations with Israel, and the conflict entered a new, protracted phase of occupation and resistance.